coin is on here today. Gapping down is this ASTS, which has been on a gappers list almost all week last week, if you guys can remember. Continues to be here today. And again, it's just pretty much garbage. We'll give that a garbage truck the minute we talk about it in a second. Then we got GSK, also down 8% here as well. So before we do that, economic data, Peter, what's happening for this beautiful Monday?
All right, sorry about that. I was getting YouTube running on my side. Economic data, not a lot. I mean, we have our usual slate of activity happening this morning, if we can see that economic data page, because I forget what we got. But let me tell you generally. Starting at 9:45, we have the U.S. manufacturing PMI. It's sort of a secondary index. There we go. 10 a.m., we've got construction spending and the ISM manufacturing. Again, those don't typically move the market, right? They're interesting to watch, but unless you're trading something very specific to those indexes, you're not going to see your average stock, especially the techs or the large cap stocks that we watch, move as a result. Sometime today, we have auto sales. That one I'm interested in. It just seems like there's been a lot of economic talk about the car companies and how they're moving, especially, of course, as the EV sector ramps up. And the North American economy has not been that sensitive to EV sales like we see sort of in China, for example. But I'm waiting to see when the auto sales numbers start to have more impact on when the factor sort of the EVs in. So I'll be interested to see when that number comes out and if it actually has an impact to the movement of some of the stocks we love to watch, like our good buddy Tesla. So we'll find out. But all in all, like I said, relatively quiet on the economic calendar today. In fact, this week, other than the employment numbers coming out later this week, it's pretty quiet. So I don't expect any big announcements. So hopefully we can focus in on some good trading. I actually like these weeks, like I've told you guys many times, when you can just sort of focus on the stocks. You don't get these economic events that throw the wrenches into the price action movement. So we'll see what happens. Like you said, Carlos, it's a Monday, which means we got a lot of stuff that moved over the weekend. And let's figure out which of it is of interest and we might want to trade today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump right in, guys. All right, Control A, Control X is going to clear our watch list here this morning. And a question for you, Peter. You might know this. So Marcelo, over on our YouTube chat, guys, and over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Thank you for joining us this morning. On our YouTube chat, he's asking, what will happen to the ETF NVDL when Nvidia does the split? I think it stays the same, right? It doesn't affect an ETF. It shouldn't, I would think.
That's a good question. I don't know. It should be the same. They may have to. Yeah, I don't know. Because, I mean, most of these tracking, of course, they move at either the same or an accelerated rate, 2 or 3 times, right? The rate of movement, which just means, now for, it might be, is it NVDL, is that accelerated at all? I don't even know. But,
I think it is NVDL. It's a great question. Yeah, 2 times. 2 times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it should work the same, like theoretically, unless they just need to reset the level to rebalance things. There's often a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes to manage it, but I think it should track the same, right? It's just keep in mind now, for every I'll say $100 move on Nvidia today, right after June the 10th, it's only going to be a $10 move after we do this 10-for-1 split. So that's the Nvidia stock, but the tracking is still moving, in a relative scale to it. So it should still be fine. And everyone is saying that it stays the same in the room. So there you go. So we got confirmation on that. So we should be fine on that. So. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never minded trading Nvidia. So even at $1,000 price, frankly, I'd rather trade it than the tracking stocks. But I understand from a price affordability. I mean, it's $60 versus what is Nvidia sitting at this morning, right? $1,130. So
$1,100. Yeah.
But it erodes the value, doesn't it? When Nvidia is only $100, and if this stays the same at 60, right? It's not as attractive.
It's a good question. Now that we're going to split, how much is NVDL going to really be traded? But it's only tracking that one stock, so it's not like it's tracking the whole tech sector like the other one. What's the tech one? Is I forget the ticker. There's a tech one, X something. But yeah, all right. Well, we'll see. When is the Nvidia
XLK is a technology sector tracking stock.
Okay.
XLK.
XLK.
Or it's stocks L, yeah. Anyway,
That's another one,
there's a
right?
bunch.
So
There's a lot of them,
yeah,
right? Because it issued by different companies. So
yeah. When is Nvidia splits? Is it this
it
month?
splits
Um,
at the close of the markets on this Friday, June the 7th, and then it basically reopens the Monday morning at its new price. So
yeah. All right, let's get to it. And since we're talking about Nvidia, I'm just going to add it on here. Obviously, it's going to be on my list this morning. Has been on fire. So we'll add that on there. But of course, everything today on the radio, well, not everything, but a lot of it was on GameStop. So let's get to our meme stocks this morning. Here's GME leading the gap up list this morning,
I,
up 73%. Our good buddy Keith, who's if you look him up, his thing is American um stock analyst, right? That's his like Wikipedia on it, whatever. Peter, some news on GameStop there. He's got a big position that was revealed over the weekend, I guess, and is getting things kind of popping here this morning. Anything else company wise that is moving this?
well, I mean, it's one guy that's moving this, Keith Gill. If you don't know who Keith Gill is, you probably know him as Roaring Kitty. And it's you know what I mean. There is, I don't think in the history of stocks been an individual who's had such an influence over a publicly traded ticker, and it drives Wall Street bananas. But I'm thinking they're figuring out how to leverage him, right? So this weekend, anyways, caused another surge in GameStop movement as he announced that he had made a big bet, $116 million bet, and he's sticking to his analysis and continuing to put his money where his mouth is. So, and look, the apes, as they're so called out there, keep rewarding him. So off he goes and influences this thing again. I mean, nobody can make GameStop move like Roaring Kitty can, or Deep Effing Value, depending on which social media platform you follow him on. But it's no matter what happens, he makes it move. And Simmer's saying it's a joke. You know what? But it is, right? But it doesn't matter, right? I mean, it's a joke that reflects. It's like art imitating life, right? Which came first? It doesn't matter anymore, right? Because GME is moving.
It's here.
Millions of
It's
dollars
here,
are
right?
trading
I mean,
hands as a result.
yeah.
It's
This is
it is what it is.
it's
And it's
definitely
fascinating to watch. I don't know about you,
it
Carlos.
is a lot
I
of
have
fun.
not traded
Yeah,
GME in this latest
I
round
haven't.
of movement
Yeah.
at all.
Last 3 years ago, I did, but not this time
Hmm.
around. We got to get on the ball here and be part of history at some point. So we'll trace it eventually. Let's put it on here in a
So
risky pile.
here,
GameStop,
just
obviously. Yeah.
just on GME, Sabina on our YouTube channel is asking, what does the apes mean? So briefly, it's basically the everybody on the social media platforms, specifically the Reddit Wall Street Bets channel, there was an analyst who said, you're all just a bunch of stupid apes, right? You don't know what you're doing, trying to insult them. And they basically took it on board as a compliment and said, yeah, we're dumb apes, but we're making money, damn it. And then, of course, all these memes came up about, separate we're weak, apes together strong, which came, of course, out of the Planet of the Apes movies. And anyways, it just became a thing, right, that accelerated, that everybody took on board. Sure, we're apes. So now you'll see a bunch of the ape memes and stuff going out there. And in fact, was it AMC that issued a secondary offering ticker that was even called Ape? It was called Ape.
Ape.
APE. Is it
Ape.
still
Yeah,
out
it's
there?
called Ape. Whatever happened to that? I'm going to look it up right now. Ape.
Yeah, see, it doesn't exist
No,
anymore.
it
I
seems
think they
like it's
rolled it
dead. Yeah,
back
it's dead.
into AMC, if I remember. But
Yeah, this
anyways,
was a failed attempt, I guess. I don't know. It didn't work out very, or maybe they did what they wanted to do and they were able to roll it back in. Not sure, but
I'm sure they
yeah,
made
this
their
is
money off of it. But
insane.
in any event, yeah. So the apes is really just came out of that comment that got taken on board, I guess, by all of the retail traders out there. That typically, by the way, like retail traders like us are typically called the dumb money. And when the dumb money started to win, especially on GME and AMC and those other companies when they took off, right? Everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Wow, who's dumb now?" Right? Because the big story at the time, if you remember, some of the big hedge funds that had shorted GME that were losing hundreds of millions of dollars a day as GME skyrocketed were not happy, I guess, that all this dumb money was eating their lunch. So,
Taking their money. Yeah.
anyways,
The dumb money was taking their
here we are
smart money.
today.
So it was, they were not happy about that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, guys, 27 million shares traded up almost 80% this morning. It is in play. We're going to have it here in our risky pile. Just be very careful trading this thing. And then speaking of that, when you have AMC, you have, Beyond the Means considered also a meme stock. There's a bunch of them on there. If we come across any more, we'll let you know. But Beyond the Me, also another one that's a meme type stock. Heading down to the list here, SRCL this morning. We are up 15%, 2 million shares traded. This looks like a buyout, maybe at some price here around $60. Again, just kind of pretty flat, not really in play. I don't like it this morning, Peter. Anything other than just a possible buyout on this?
Well, you're right. This is one of those types of stocks that just appears out of nowhere. Stericycle. It sounds like one of these newfangled waste management companies, probably doing recycling stuff. Not a low float. I'm sort of surprised by that. Relatively large company, but I've never heard of it. But yes, the WM Waste Management Services has entered a $7.2 billion deal to acquire these guys. So I guess they got their buyout, and they're going to be paying all in cash. So, where's the price, right? We talk about this a lot. They typically go up, sit right below the acquisition price. This is a healthy couple of dollars below, but it's just likely to stay here until this deal closes. So it's a buyout that's really not that exciting.
Yeah, we'll leave it alone. Let's move on to the next one. This is Ross Stores, right? KOSS. Oh no, it's something else. This is cost. This is something different. Looks horrible. Up 16%, 208,000 shares traded. We've seen this before, I think, but man, this is just brutal. Straight garbage truck stock here. Peter, do you like this one?
No, I do not. It's showed up every
Yeah.
once in a while, but it does not trade very well. And if I look at it here in the pre-market, like you said, the price action looks horrible. Despite the 200,000 shares, we basically have no continuous price action. It's trading more like a NYSE stock than it is like a Nasdaq stock, but it is on the Nasdaq. So, but I don't like it, so we can just move on.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So we already gave that one the nice little garbage truck there. We'll move on to the next one, SMMT. So SMMT. This is down up to 10%, 2.7 million shares traded. It has everything on here. SSR. It has was resumed. That was a hold at some point. Resumed trading. I mean, it just has all the bells and whistles, all the flags in this thing. Looks pretty crappy. Had a great day on Thursday though, from $3 to $11. I mean, that's a big, nice move there. Let me go back. Oh, that was crappy though. The way he did it, if you look at it here, it was not a clean move at all. It happened all looks like right before the close, like three shares were traded here and between two people, and then look at it go up here to 13. So that's pretty nasty. I don't like this at all. Another garbage truck here for this one. Peter, anything that you like on this thing?
They got a $200 influx of cash and some licensing deals, but I don't like it as a trading stock. It showed up occasionally. We've seen this, whenever a stock's under $10, and despite the fact it's trading around 10. I mean, look at the price action on the daily. It's I have to consider it more of a $4 stock than a $10 stock. I don't like stocks in that price range, so not something that I'll be watching closely.
Yeah, that looks brutal there. Let's head down to the next one. Is IREN, another one that we've seen on our list plenty of times in the last couple of weeks or so. It is up 6.2, very light volume. I have not really kept this on my list. Every time I look at it and just kind of review it, it looks pretty bad. And this is Friday's action. I mean, this to me looks horrible. No volume whatsoever on any of these candles. Traded at under 10 million shares for the entire day. If we look at Thursday, same thing. I mean, this is just not going to be great for my style of trading. You look at it here as well. Very, very choppy. And again, a lot of this is because just a light amount of volume that you're getting. So I'm not sure what the news is on this, Peter, but I am not interested at all in this this stock. So what was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Being that I don't really see any news, I don't like it either because I don't know why it's moving, and even if I did, I probably still wouldn't like it. So
Yeah, yeah. Moving on down, I have Paramount here, and this one, I think, got a new offer, right? So it's been back and forth whether it's gonna sell off is some of his
right.
some of his divisions or not. It's back on it again, up 5%. How well it's going to intraday trade, even with the news? I don't think they're even going to get the volume, right? It's just so much back and forth. Peter, anything happening on this one that we should be aware of?
Yeah, we've been long talking about the merger of streaming platforms because there just seems like there's too many. As a consumer, I'm like I can't even keep up, right? And you're paying. We thought, oh, it's going to be so much cheaper than your cable service, and once you start getting a couple to watch the things you want, it's more expensive than your cable. So their bills haven't gone down; they've gone up, and I just don't think they can survive over the long term. However, Paramount is one of the first that is entertaining offers for acquisition. As you mentioned, Carlos, Skydance Media, which had put in an offer for Paramount Global, has apparently sweetened their offer, added a little more cash into the deal. Not that it's being accepted yet, right? So we're talking about a pretty big deal, $26 billion in cash, and growing. So Paramount is going to move if they make any type of announcement that they're either accepting or rejecting the deal. If they announce they're accepting it, it'll probably pop up. If they announce that they're rejecting the deal, it'll probably drop. But we don't know when that news is going to be announced, right? It might be during the market, after the market, today, tomorrow, next week. So, I just think this is one that maybe you can put on a scanner, and if it moves, aggressively, then you can worry about watching it. Maybe you can play the other side of the pop, right? The pop and drop type play. But I think this will be difficult to anticipate and very risky. So, not something I'm going to be actively watching. Our chat room is good, right? We got thousands of eyeballs always watching the market. I'm sure if it starts to move, someone will let me know if I don't see it myself.
Yeah. Going back to our gappers list, guys. I mean, there's a lot on here we've gone through already. Not much that we like. We got Nvidia and I got GameStop, and GameStop is really more for entertainment purposes. I don't really trade it, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch today, especially if things get going. Um, let's see what else. I mean, Hood is also somewhat of a meme stock, also up this morning, right? 4.3. They probably have no business gapping up, but it's a meme stock as well. Not as big as AMC and GameStop, obviously, but that's popping up here this morning. So,
Yeah,
so much on
Hood's
here, guys.
always
I'm
on
going to
the
skip
fringe,
around a
isn't
little
it?
bit. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's not quite a meme stock, but it definitely takes advantage of the meme stocks when they move because a lot of the volume
Yeah.
goes through their platform, their service. So we'll see. Hood is not a good trader though. Like it's hard to trade Hood directly. You can trade on using Robinhood, but don't trade the stock.
Yeah. Let's do this here. I'm going to skip around a little bit. I'm going to go to JetBlue. We got NVIDIA ready, and I'm going to look at Bitcoin. Then I'll let you see if there's anything else on there that maybe we haven't looked at yet. So let's go to JetBlue this morning. These guys are gapping up. JBUL. It's not a lot though. This is really not in play. It's 3%. Barely any volume. I know they had American Airlines was the one that was hot last week. If you guys remember, big drop as their expectation for the summer for the coming months was not great. So they dropped quite a bit, and they obviously dragged some stocks with them. Not a whole lot, but you see Delta, you see some other ones also taking a bit of a hit here. So I don't like JetBlue. I don't see anything on it. I don't think it's really in play, Peter. Doesn't
No,
look good.
they did issue a statement, sort of a minor statement this morning that they do think that their second quarter revenue is going to be higher than anticipated. They didn't actually change their forecast; just said expect us to be higher than we'd previously estimated, as they've had a healthy travel demand in the early part of this year. So I guess that's good news, and the airline sector usually reacts to that type of news, but you'd need another airline, I think, to sort of agree with that. Also say they've seen increased bookings, better revenue than
Right.
anticipated for the sector to move and for JetBlue to really take off, pun intended.
It's so funny how just like 2-3 weeks ago they said, "Oh, the summer looks great." and now it's just like now it doesn't. Like they flip flop so much back and forth. They don't really have a good grip of what's going on. So it's so interesting. All right, and last one on here that I'm going to look at the entire group is Bitcoin. Right, so I see a lot of Bitcoin on here this morning. I think all of them are on there. We'll start with Mara. They usually tend to get the better volume. This morning they're up 3.1, so not bad. Let's take a look at Coin. Coin, not much volume. Careful on the spread. If you choose to trade this one, the spread could be much wider. And then if I look at Riot, just to take a look at what's happening there, same situation. Not big volume on Bitcoin.
No.
Overall ticker, Peter, is there any news on Bitcoin overall?
There hasn't really been
they're
any
moving
news, but
up.
like we always talk about, Bitcoin moves outside of market hours, especially on the weekend. If you look at the daily on Bitcoin, you can see it had been in this very, very tight range for 2 weeks, and it's actually at sort of out the top side of that range. I like where it is. It's interesting on a daily. It actually needs to get a little more movement for the tracking stocks that we tend to trade, the Mara and the Riots and those other ones, that we were looking at, CleanSpark, to actually get a little bit more movement. But I sort of like where Bitcoin's sitting. If it can hold these gains, which is not always guaranteed, right? I mean, it can lose it as quickly as it can gain it. But, then we could see some interesting price action and movement throughout the week. So I'll be keeping an eye on the Bitcoin stocks, probably Riot and Mara. Those are the two that I prefer to watch and just see what they do. But at the moment, like you said, volume's fairly low on most of those offerings. So good movement on the weekend on the price of Bitcoin, but our Bitcoin miners not doing all that much yet.
Yeah. I like the way the overall ETF is moving here on the daily, right? We got a little bit of consolidation and kind of breaking out here. Once we start getting close to this 72, that can really start to get things moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Mara here as a secondary. I think that's always fun. And just to keep an eye on it, see if things can get going here as far as capping up. So we got Nvidia right now. We got Mara. We got GameStop. That's really it for the most part. Before I get to our gap down, Peter, anything you like in the gap up? It's a lot on here, but not a lot that looks great.
I mean, I like the semiconductor sector. We were talking about Nvidia a little bit earlier. It's moving down right at the moment, but the entire sector is gapping up. Everything's green, from AMD to Intel to Micron to Nvidia. Right? They're all moving up, including Taiwan Semiconductor. Still waiting to hear news out of the South China Sea and what's happening with the Chinese military activity out there. But for the moment, semis are looking good. And while they don't have a lot of volume, Nvidia's got some good volume at 1.8 million shares. I just like the way they've been moving the last little while. I'm obviously going to be watching AMD. You all know that's my favorite. We're good buddies. And while I don't expect it to do anything right at the open, I think a little bit later that we could get some movement out of AMD. You can see like the daily does not look good. Like if I wasn't, an AMD fan, I would look at this daily and say, man, this looks crappy, right? Move on. But I know how it moves intraday, and I'm very comfortable with its price action. So I'll be watching AMD. And I also think as we head towards the 10-for-1 split we were talking about for Nvidia, we're going to get a little bit more positioning, a little bit more price action. So I think this volume is going to continue on Nvidia through the week. I could be wrong in that, but that's my expectation. Yeah. So
did you trade it last week going into the close? Because I know you get on the close once in a while as far as trading goes. Did you?
I did actually. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it was even Friday. Maybe I think Friday. I did trade AMD.
Yeah.
But we did get a couple. My 1 to 10 trade. We did get a couple on it, and it wasn't great, but the 1 to 10, like I say, it only works once or twice a week. So you got to watch every day and wait for the opportunity and then jump on it when it happens. But yeah, you can see AMD close strong into the close on Friday. Yeah, so there was some opportunity there. The market was closing strong on Friday. Wasn't a witching on Friday, right? But it was the last day of the month and the last trading day, of course. Mm-hmm. And we did see the market make a little bit of a move up into the close. So we'll see what happens this morning. I like, most things are green. The market's held those gains, so that's always a good sign. Good sign for a good price action this morning, I think.
Absolutely. Let's see what's gapping down, guys. See the stocks are not doing so hot this morning. GSK here, we are down 8%. so far, 614,000 shares traded. So normally this stock doesn't get great volume. Look at the volume here on the daily. You're looking at, what is this, 8 million shares, right? So not really a whole lot of volume down here for the most part, but very gappy as well. Is this a form? What is this, by the way? GSK. What do they
This
do?
is GlaxoSmithKline, I think, isn't it? Is it?
Okay, I'll
It
try
is a
seeing. I don't
drug
know.
manufacturer. Yes, they're just called. Their official name now is GSK PLC, but I'm pretty sure this was what used to be
Yeah.
called GlaxoSmithKline. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're moving this morning. They did have a little bit of news because they had some setback with Zantac. I don't know what the setback was. Let's see. Oh, I see. So they're in a court case over Zantac in Delaware, and the court sort of ruled favorably towards the plaintiff, and that means GSK is not in the best position. Nothing's been settled on that yet, but looks like they're fighting a pretty big case that could be expensive to them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
As
Um,
Vania is posting here, this would open the floodgates to allow more than 70,000 cases if this one sort of, gets a favorable outcome. So that's I'm sure the lawyers are happy. You get these things. Who always wins?
absolutely.
The lawyers are
Yeah.
always very happy.
The one company you never want to go against, I'm telling you right now, is Boeing. Do not go against Boeing. This is not a company you want to play with. They have some practices that are just not normal, and ideal. So mess with
Carlos,
anybody else,
that's
but do
all
not mess with
unproven.
Boeing.
It's just coincidence.
Sorry. It's unproven. It's just very much coincidence that people just tend to disappear
Alive.
in ungodly fashion there. So be careful with
Yeah,
Boeing. Definitely do not
Jeff from
touch that
Texas,
one.
you're right.
Yeah.
If you are testifying against Boeing, there has been a spate of people becoming unalived when they've taken that step. So, yeah.
Simmer is saying, "Stop talking about this, Carlos. We need you." I 100% agree. I said too much. I could, if I go missing, you know what happened. All right, so there it is. Guys, gap down list. Another one on here is ASTS. This has been on our list plenty of times, but it's just such a bad intraday trading stock, right? So I'm gonna stay away from it
ASTS. Yeah.
today as well. It looks like it's coming back down to reality. 2 red days back to back here. Yeah, there it is. There's the garbage truck for
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, I don't like it, man. I don't know about you. We do have shares for sure, but it's been horrible.
Yeah, I mean, interesting news. I find it fascinating what they're doing, right? With setting up this satellite-based mobile services company, but it doesn't mean it's a good stock to trade. So we saw the upward movement last week initially with the news that they were partnering with Verizon, if I remember, but it never traded well enough for me to get interested to put some money behind it. So. Yeah, it's we'll see. I mean, long term, if you want to put this in some sort of swing or long term investment portfolio, then might be an opportunity there. But this is also one of those that, again, pun intended, will either fly high or crash and burn. So
yeah. So I'll leave it alone. And then another one that just came up on our list is GPCR. So GPCR is on here. Looks like some news broke out this morning. I mean, it's all over the place. 718,000 shares traded right now. It is down 6.5. What's up? Man, look at the move on this thing, right? We're going from 34 to 50,
yeah.
right? Back down to 31. We're down at 27. I mean, man, if you talk about just a messy stock, what's the float on this? This has got to be really low, I would assume.
Well, it's not that low. 41
Yeah,
million shares.
not that low. You're right. What's the news?
So
Anything?
Well, this is, it's one of these biotech companies, right? Structure Therapeutics is what it's called. And right around 7:30, when you see all the, excitement started to happen, is when they issued a press release that they had very positive top-line data from a phase 2A obesity study. And we all know how we like the obesity drugs, right? Ever since Ozempic started getting misused to fight obesity, people are all over, like, trying to find the next great thing. Take a pill, lose your weight. Anyways, Structure Therapeutics is in that game, and they released some good data. However, as you see, it was very short-lived, wasn't it? I mean, the price jumped up significantly, but has lost it all right now. So somebody's not buying the outcome here, and I haven't read the study results here to know what it means, and I probably wouldn't understand it if I did. But if you want to trade a high risk, this definitely would go in the bucket, right? I would think, because it's feels
Yeah.
risky as all get out to me.
Yep.
On low volume too,
All
only
right, friends.
600,000 shares. I thought we'd be over a million by now.
It's so low based on the range it's been this morning. It's been down to 27, up to 50. I mean, that is just, be careful, guys. I'm not touching this one. Okay. Let's take a look at Peter. Anything else that you like before we jump to our chats?
Nothing really on the gap down. I mean, so much is gapping up. I'm not seeing a lot on the downside. So I'm going to focus on semis. I mean, I mentioned in passing the only other stock in general I should mention, Tesla is something I'm watching. Remember those auto numbers that I'm looking for they haven't announced when it's coming out. It's supposed to come out today. We'll see if we get the auto sales numbers. But Tesla's just generally a good mover. And I think it might be impacted if the auto sales come out and it shows some problems or opportunities there. There might be an impact. So I'll keep an eye on it. The other like North American auto stocks, right? The General Motors and Ford, I typically don't watch nor trade those. So Tesla will be the one for me.
Yeah. Tesla for sure, 760,000 right now, and they're just stuck. Like if you look at it, they need some drama here. They have not done well. Just kind of sideways, not really giving us a whole lot of movement. So hopefully the numbers will give you some action here. Okay, let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. We'll start in our chat here today. Good morning to you all. Good morning to YouTube as well. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube if you haven't done so already. We're sitting at 129 likes. Our goal is 300. So 300 is our goal here. Help us get there. And we got some work to do, and subscribe if you have not done so. We need just about 650,000 subscribers more to give out that Tesla. So I'm looking forward to that. So, all right, friends, let's look at our chat here. Just 650,000. Just
600.
Right,
that's all.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Not a lot compared to what's out there.
I like the name just on YouTube. Boyman Dude Guy is asking if we ever trade Reddit RDDT. No. The short answer is no. I've looked at it in the past.
Yep.
It doesn't typically get a lot of volume, and its average volume is only about 2.5 million shares. A lot of days it's down. It's
even lower,
a little lower than that even. Yeah. So I don't love it as a trading stock. Fascinating as a entertainment platform, especially if you want to follow some the Wall Street bets and all the craziness that happens there. But yeah, it's not a great trading stock.
Yeah.
All right, now people are asking about Andrew.
I don't know if we have an update on Andrew, Peter. Do we? I haven't heard.
I don't. I haven't heard anything. So we'll have to ask Brian. When Brian gets on, we'll see if he's heard anything over the weekend from Andrew. Like we said, we're not surprised. We knew he would be going into a blackout at this period just because there's no cell service at the top of Mount McKinley or Denali, as it's called these days. It's not that we don't care. What can we do, man? He either reaches out to us or he doesn't. So, but we're sort of fingers and toes crossed that everything's going well. We do know, I can't remember what updates we gave you guys. Last week, we did hear that they did have to make an emergency rescue for what was their, Carlos, was it their guide or sort of the group leader anyways? Who with...
one of the guys, a group leader. I don't remember the details, but they had to do that for one of those individuals, I guess. Yeah.
Not doing well, had to be sort of evacuated off the mountain. So hopefully that was not a problem for their excursion and their objectives, and they were able to remain safe. But I mean, obviously we want him to be safe. We need him back because he's got to give away stuff. Oh, and we want him back.
Yes,
but he's got to give away stuff.
But he wears stuff, right? Some laptops, and we're getting to 1 million subscribers. We got to give a Tesla away. He's got to come back. So we want to keep it on our promises here.
He's got laptops to give away in the short term, and then he's got his Tesla to give away when we hit 1 million. So,
yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, let's go to you guys. Let's start here. Boyle is usually this is an ETF, so I don't actually trade ETFs a whole lot. I like trading the actual individual stocks, right? So Boyle is up this morning. It's a natural gas, Peter, right? Or energy.
Boyle,
Yeah, so
I think
you could trade it if you want. I am not a big fan of trading it directly, but it is in play today. Just be careful, guys. These ETFs can move very aggressive, so be very mindful of your share sizing on that and your risk management. NVCR not really in play right now, not a whole lot of volume. So I'll leave that one alone. Let's take a look at Paramount, Chris. We did look at already. Some movement there. If we take a look at Google today, GOOGL, we'll look at that one. 2.7 million shares traded. So there is tons of volume on Google this morning. Is that going to translate to any good trading? I'm not sure, but I would like to have it around and see what it means. So I'm going to add Google to
it,
the list here just
it's
in
hard to
case.
find that volume in the pre-market, so it's
It
not looking
is,
great.
yeah.
But
And again,
it could
this
Google's
happens
one
so
of those hit or
much.
miss stocks, right? Like
Yeah.
it might trade well in the day. You just got to wait for the opening bell and see how it starts to move. Google and
Yeah.
Meta for me are the two that like I feel like I need to watch
They're
because they're
funky.
big
Yeah.
tech, magnificent seven, but they're probably the worst trading of them. The next I would put Amazon, which actually trades a little bit better than those on average, and then of course we got our
Hmm.
favorites, which are the Nvidias, Apple's, uh, Microsoft, and Tesla, of course.
Yeah, those three, man. I agree with you a lot, but I 100% agree with you there. Those three, they are funky in their trading: Amazon, Google, and Meta. But when they are in play, they can do amazing stuff. So, um,
Yeah,
all right, let's take a look, friends. What else you have? United and Delta. Yeah, I don't know if they have the volume, right? Look at United Airlines, there's not a whole lot of volume on here. If we look at
no,
Delta, there's not a whole lot as well. And American Airlines might have more volume. They usually tend to do that. But we'll
it
have to wait
does.
for the
But
market to
look at
open. American Airlines will be interesting,
right.
I think.
So we've talked about this. Let's just mention it again. So look at American Airlines on the chart that Carlos has got on the screen. This tells me while there's volume, right? There's 600,000 shares. It's
Right.
not huge, but it's got that barcode look, right? So you can see how it looks like a barcode. It did after the close on Friday. It's looking like that, like this morning in the last 30 minutes or so, and that means it's within a penny. That tells me there's not a lot of manual trading. This is just computers trading against each other. And normally you want to avoid stocks that are doing that because you don't want to trade just against the computers, right? They move faster than you. They could trade in fractions of a cent. It's just not, it's not usually a winning proposition. So for the moment,
Yeah.
American Airlines does not look in play, and I would totally avoid it. If you look at a 1 minute chart, it looks even worse. So yeah, the airline sector just doesn't seem to be in play this morning, despite the news out of JetBlue.
Yeah. But we have to wait for the market open. I do like the daily on here with the gap down, but you're right. Pre-market, there's nothing happening. Wait for the market open. If you want to play the airlines, wait for the market open. See if they get the volume. Does American Airlines want to close out this gap later in the week? But doesn't look like today. They just don't have the volume. Um, agree, Mr. T. Meta's just not great, but when it is great, it's awesome. It trades very well. But yeah, most days it's brutal. Take a look over on our YouTube chat. Tesla is on deck. Yeah, we have Tesla, we have AMD, we have Nvidia, and we have GameStop. It's what's kind of moving today, memes and tech. So there's not really a whole lot happening as far as stuff in play. We did look at ASTS. Again, I did not like it. ASTS. It is in play. It's got volume. Is over the last month, right? I mean, look at the move here, going from like $2 to 10, almost 950, and now back down. So be careful if you're going to trade it. I watched it a couple of times. It made our list, and it just did not trade very well. So I'm not inclined to put it on my list again today. So I could be wrong. I think the fun might be over. Maybe we're looking to test $6, right? We'll have to wait for the market open, see how that is going to trade. So if you have the space, which again, I think today we do, you can definitely put it on there. Let's take a look at Dell. I've seen that one being thrown out a couple of times here by you guys as well. If we look at Dell, again, big gap down. I forgot the news last week, right? But big gap down for them. And they were very weak, sold off. The market helped them a little bit here recover, right? If it was not for the market, they probably would have not had this recovery. And today they're pretty much flat, but they got 2.4 million shares traded that are not really registering in the pre-market. Again, this happens a lot.
Yeah.
You see stocks with some huge volume numbers here. I believe these are just transactions being recorded that are not actually moving the price, maybe from the overnight. I'm not sure. Another one similar to American Airlines. I don't think they're in play. Big gap down from last week. Maybe they want to start closing this gap if the market's going to stay green. Plus, if they get the volume, right? And lately, Dell has been getting the volume, right? Look at the ramp here. They've been getting some really, really great volume lately. So, and hitting all-time highs, right? They're falling from their all-time high price level up here on Dell. Peter, you remember what the news was last week? Was it earnings? I don't think it was
It was
earnings.
earnings, but I mean, it
Um,
was earnings
it
plus
was
sort of
okay.
AI type news. They were working with
Okay.
Nvidia, which gave them a little bit of lift. Again, that wasn't really news, like it wasn't new,
Yeah.
but they got a pump,
Right.
and then of course they came out with their earnings and gave a sort of a negative forecast on the forward-looking projections, and you can see that they dropped as a result. So a lot of anticipatory move up. AI is going to be great. And then Dell said, yeah, but we're calling off the next quarter. And you can see the big drop that happened on Friday. So I think you're right. It's not likely to be in play today, though.
Yeah. All right. Let's stop here and let's look at one more BB just because I'm curious. This is a great company, man. I really love my BlackBerry back in the days. No, it's got volume. I don't think it's really in play. And I
No,
think they always get this type of volume in the morning. So it's not really in play.
it's like
All right. Let's head
it's
over.
meme adjacent.
Yeah. And even then, they're not. I mean, they got 1.1, but they're not looking all that hot, even as a meme stock, right?
Yep.
So just be careful. There's better ones out there, AMC, GameStop, and some other ones. I think even BYND is one to look out for. Let's take a look at our community events and announcements starting with today, Monday. Peter's going to walk you through what's happening for the next 2 weeks.
Indeed. Well, look, so first I want to welcome all new watchers out there. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up or like and subscribe to the channel. You can get updates as to what's happening. We would greatly appreciate that. I'll especially a shout out if you're listening out there to my tennis partner. Played tennis this morning. Said he was going to listen. If you are out there, then yeah, he promised to put in some nasty comments, and I've been looking for them. Haven't seen them yet. So you go in there and you do your worst, buddy. But anyways, welcome if you're watching. All right, so let's talk about what's happening in the community this week, because every week we have a full slate of activities for all of our community members of the Bearable Trading channel and the chat room. But it's a lot more than the chat room. We also have weekly webinars and seminars to help you with your trading and help advance your objectives. We start on Mondays with our onboarding class that Carlos leads, and it's at 8 o'clock, so that'll be tonight at 8. That helps our new members get oriented with the channel, learn all that you can leverage out of the Bearable Trading community, and just ask questions, get them answered in a sort of a less formal, very helpful type of format. So feel free to join, whether you're new or not. You just want to have a conversation, maybe join Carlos tonight, then do so. 8 o'clock, that'll be in the onboarding room. Hopefully we will see you then. We got Suzanne, who I hope is accidentally spamming our chat. I wonder if the cat is walking across her keyboard. As everybody has the same thought. Anyways, all right. Tuesdays, we talk strategy and trade book. Strategy and trade book sessions are great because they help you sort of see a different perspective on your trading and maybe give you some ideas that you can incorporate into your trading approach. Megan's going to be talking about how you can leverage a small account specifically with options to accelerate your trading. And that will be tomorrow night, June the 4th at 8 p.m. So regular time. Last week we had a bunch of early sessions. We're back to regular time this week at 8 o'clock with Megan. So put that in your calendar for sure. Megan's always high energy, always a lot of fun. So hopefully you will join her for that educational and informative session. Next week, Thor is going to be on deck talking about how you leverage the mental art of trading. He's got the where, the when, and the how that he talks about all the time. This will be focused on the how. How do you execute these trades? And that will be, again, Tuesday, the 11th of June. So worth putting on your calendar. Again, regular time. For whatever reason, we're struggling to get the time in there, but it should be 8 o'clock for that one as well. Wednesday, we talk psychology, and this Wednesday, Dr. Kenneth Reed will be with us talking about one good entry. It's part of the sort of the one good trade philosophy, but how do you just get that one good entry that you then manage appropriately? It's often tough to do that because your brain tells you to do funny things despite your best intentions. So he'll talk you through that and give you some tips on how to manage that. That's on Wednesday, June the 5th. This is this Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And the next week, we're very happy to have Susan, our very own Susan, Trading Mom Susan, as she sometimes calls herself in the room, will be here on Wednesday, June the 12th, talking about how you can sort of develop some self-mastery. She is an expert at managing the trade books and helps us a lot on the Peak Capital trading side, and is usually here every morning at the Bearable Trading community as well. So look forward to hearing from Susan as she presents this webinar next week. Thursdays, we always talk mentorship. And we have 4 different mentorship sessions for you every Thursday, starting at 11 a.m. with John, who does his session for our members. It's usually a small group and a good chance to sort of get personal and in depth on any question that you want to get answered. That's in the webinar room at 11 a.m. Then we switch over to options with Jared and Megan at 2 p.m. Back to stocks with Lenny at 4 p.m. And of course, Thor closes out that day, as he always does, at 8 p.m. with his session. So hopefully you'll join us at 11, 2, 4, or 8, and you can take advantage of those mentorship sessions this coming Thursday. If you want information on the markets anytime, tradingterminal.com. It's a great resource. Check it out. It's got news on the markets. It's got the calendar of events, of course. It's got all of your active trading information, as well as the scanners that we use in the morning to get the gappers. But you can also use those scanners throughout the trading day. We turbo breakup scanners, high day breaks. There's all sorts of pre-configured scanners, or you can create your own. Look at this is what comes right out of the box, what you're seeing on the screen. And you can just use it just like that, or you can go into the configurator and create your own scanners. It's completely free, and it's well worth checking out. So check it out at tradingterminal.com. And if you wanted to join us, you've seen the thing right below me. I should point that way, I guess, right? Right down there. The Memorial Day sale. If you're interested in joining, now that's on the annual, the yearly membership. We said it was ending, but I still see it here. So I will make you this promise. If you sign up today and you want to get that annual deal, we will honor that Memorial 60 code. If it doesn't work, you email me personally, peter@variabletraders.com. I'll make sure you get that deal. But after this, we're going back to the regular price. But always the basic and elite monthly packages are there and available for you. And we do have an intro offer. Now, you see, if you were just to join off the website, it'll be $39. That's a 1-week access to the onboarding class and the chat room, full access to the chat room. But you can get that for just $1 if you check out the YouTube. You got to go into the YouTube channel, check out the comments. It's in there. We're post that regularly. You can see it's just a couple of comments up there. I think it was there. Anyways, there it is. Variabletraders.com/YouTube, and you can get it for just $1, and you can join our chat room for a week. Test it out. See if it's for you. If it is, then we invite you to join with one of our other membership options. So hopefully we'll see you soon at the Bearable Trading channel. With that, Carlos, I'll hand it back to you to set some levels, and we'll see what our moderators are trading and get ourselves ready for this open.
Absolutely. Thank you, Peter. Let's take a look here, friends. Only 3 on my list today, guys. Nvidia, AMD, Tesla. I'm sure some others will creep in here, but these are the ones I like, and that's what I'm going to go with today so far. So Tesla, we'll start here. Pretty easy right now. Just stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days and just kind of staying put here, not really moving too up or down in this range that seems to be getting tighter and tighter, right? So that's good. Hopefully we can have an explosion one way or the other that we can take advantage of. Our high of our pre-market right now, I am gonna mark that down. It's 179.27, so we'll slam a level there. And I'm also gonna mark down the low of the pre-market, which is over at 177.72. And once you do that, if you look at the last 2 trading days, I think you pretty much cover, guys, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days are doing a pretty good job. So we'll leave that there. Next, we're going to have AMD. So AMD on the list here. Towards the bottom, plenty of levels, highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Kind of stuck in a range, a bigger range here, but you can see here it's just been back and forth between that 170.50 or so over to that 160, so a $10 range. Some days going the entire range, but that could be really nice, right? Half of the range, the entire range. That's nice. These are really good trading days. Friday was one of them. You had a nice drop, nice recovery into the close. I mean, tons of opportunities for you to hang on and get some good returns on here. High of the pre-market right now sitting at 170.52. We're going to slam one there. As you guys over on YouTube, slam that thumbs up. We're sitting at, what is this over here? Let's expand these likes. 218, so just shy of 300 is our goal, friends. So help us get to 300 likes for the pre-market show. Really appreciate it. Also, a reminder, we are trading live right after this. Brian will be on with another moderator trading live this morning, so definitely stick around for that as we take you through the market open and the trading day. So 173, no, I'm sorry, 170.52 is the level here on the pre-market that we want to mark towards the bottom. The low of the pre-market is below the previous day close, down at 166.62. So we're going to mark that there. But the previous day close is going to be the big level that we're going to be focusing on, right? That 166.90. That is a key level there. If we look at the bigger picture on the daily now over here, we are focusing above the pre-market high. We do have a couple of days ago, we did slam into 174.54. So we'll put one there. And then just in case we're going to have this type of day, another great level here, guys. And I get this question a lot, so I'm just going to talk about it here quickly. Is what do we mark down? The wicks or the opening and closing of the candle? You can do both. Here you could do both. You could do this wick and you could do this level here as well, right? A lot of days slamming into that, opening, closing there, and some of those days also going down to 174. Do both levels. There's plenty of information to be able to track both of those on there. All right, that is AMD, and last but not least, our good buddy Nvidia, which is up 3.2. Some real good volume coming in here in the pre-market. Pre-market high right now, we're looking at 11.35, so we'll slam one there. Then towards the bottom, the pre-market low is going to be set at 11.18. So 1,118 there for Nvidia. Once you do that, guys, you're set. High, all-time highs is being marked here, so you're good there. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Got other levels that are going to be important to you on this daily cover, and there's nothing else back here. Look at the jump on Nvidia. Peter, why didn't we just, beginning of the year when Nvidia was what, $200, $400? Why didn't we just buy our full buying power and just take off the rest of the year, come back today and just sell everything? Why didn't we not think about this? I mean,
Why didn't we do that? That is a
me and
very good
you could have been playing pickleball from February all the way. Well, I don't know about indoor pickleball from February to
could
now.
have.
What
Yeah.
would happen? I mean,
You know, but Carlos, I mean, that's what we should be doing in maybe our longer term portfolios, right? Not here with our trading account.
True.
But
That's very true.
But
I
still,
don't know.
yeah,
I
like,
don't
you know
know.
what? I honestly, it's one of those where, if you look back and you think about it, I honestly thought it was overpriced at $400, and
Yes,
did
me
not
too.
expect it to get up to this high. And then it got to 8, and I thought, okay, well, I guess 8, 900, here it is. And then we just, like you say, in the course of a week or so, we just shot up right over the $1,000, and greed is infinite, Ross. You think I'd learn that by
It
now,
is
but you're absolutely
unreal.
correct. The greed is infinite in the markets, and and fear
Yeah.
is pervasive. So some of these stocks, they can go down as fast as they can go up. But yes, it's worth the bet on some of these things. But
Yeah.
I mean, I did take it in my longer term retirement account, but not in a huge size. So I am benefiting somewhat. But from a trading perspective,
Yeah, I guess we
right,
like doing
right.
this show, and we need to have something to do, right? So we got to come here and
Yeah.
work on our watches every morning. All good. All right, friends, let's take a look at our moderators list this morning. We have starting with Thor here. He is looking at AMD, Google, Tesla, IWM. Secondary list is futures on there. Eamon, potential longs American Airlines, which I do like American Airlines. I'm going to add that to my secondary because I agree that is looking very good there. Jared looking at a potential, and then HD as well. I'll have to pull back to support for Eamon. Jared looking at AMD, GameStop, secondary CRM, who had a horrible drop last week. Brian looking at Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, GameStop, CZR. Megan looking at GameStop, CRM for her. Peter, no IPO, so no SPACs for today, but your list this morning: AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Paramount, and GameStop on the secondary list. Pierre's looking at AMD, Nvidia, Mara, Dell, and CRM. And we'll have Brian and whoever's trading with Brian start logging in so we can switch over to you as soon as I'm done with this. But definitely start kicking into gear there. Lenny, Nvidia, GameStop, mRNA, GSK, and CRM. And then Susan will be looking at her watches, aka Trading Mom, Google, QCOM, PLTR, Nvidia, secondary list, Amazon, and Bank of America. Mike this morning, we're looking at GameStop and also Nvidia, and then Phil, Nvidia, AMD, GameStop, Tesla, and Google. So for the most part, very similar list. A couple of outsiders there that are looking at different things. But as far as outsider stocks, not people, right? Let's be nice. For the most part, I want to be clear. Things can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the most part, look at the same tickers, man. Not a quiet start to the week, but I think there's some explosive stocks. Look at Tesla dropping to the previous day close. I think it'll be a lot of fun today. Peter, anything else before we switch over to our good buddy Brian, who's going to take you through the market open?
I just want to once again say thank you to especially all those that have joined our channel and are maybe new here. Welcome. We will be trading live, so stay with us. And I want to advise you, trade smart. Like, I look at my list this morning. I got some interesting stuff, but it's not interesting for the opening bell. Paramount is maybe the only thing I might be interested in to see if we get a move. But if I don't see what I like on that, according to my personal strategies, I will not be trading. And I'm not afraid to sit back and just watch as things develop and wait and see if I can get a good trade opportunity, maybe an hour and a half into the markets, because that's what works best for me and where I make most of my money. So trade smart, and we want you to be here for the long term. Take care, everybody.
All right, absolutely, guys. Trade safe. I hear Brian. I will switch over to Brian. Have an amazing trading day. We'll see you guys in chat. We'll see you there.
Later.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Brian, we were wondering if you had any updates on Andrew. Have you heard anything?
No, I have not heard anything at all. I was looking on his social media, haven't seen anything there. So, but we do know that he is, he's in an area where there isn't any internet. So,
Right.
And I don't think he's got to pack all his stuff up the mountain this time. He doesn't have a Sherpa carrying his stuff. So, so I think he's probably not packing a laptop. So
that's a good point. Without the Sherpa, I'm sure he's traveling a little lighter than he normally would.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I have not heard from him at all. I did talk to Artie. He said to say hi to everybody.
That's awesome. Tell him we miss him.
So he is off doing some other things that is of interest to him. So wish him well as usual. Anyway, yeah, hope everyone had a good weekend. So we've got Tesla dropping a bit. We've got Nvidia and AMD. The semis obviously popping up today, and of course we've got some weird stuff going on with GME again. Apparently we had some posts about from Roaring Kitty about his account. What did they say? Like he's got $120 million position or something in GME. You have to wonder that if that's real.
GameStop this morning, Brian?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I just can just share a screen here as well.
Nvidia looks good this morning.
Yes, it does, and so does AMD. There's GME. It's got some bids here. Careful with GME; it could be crazy. We did get up to 65 about 2 weeks ago or so. Wow, look at it go! All right, market's open, everybody. Let's yeah.
Trade safe, everyone.
Rock and roll. Just waiting, just going to wait a little bit here. Tesla seems to be dropping. Nvidia, big pop and drop there.
Yeah, Nvidia opened right at under Air 4.
Tesla went red there for a minute. Looking at Tesla right now. Possible more downside here.
CRM is really popping here.
That's good, like that. I've got a risk reversal on CRM. I'm short Tesla here at 65, 177.65, but it's still pretty bouncy. Might be coming back up, so I'm going to have to get out of it. Yeah, got out of it just in time there. Wow, Dell is dropping a bit here.
Yeah, Dell 138. Really breaking down here.
Tesla might be long. Just got long Tesla on that pullback, 179.50.
AMD
Just
selling
sold
off.
some through 180. Just sold some through 180 there.
Nice. Have a look at this. Well, yeah, that's not really bounced here. 180.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Just selling
Right
some
at-
more at 180.14.
Right at Friday high there.
Mm-hmm. AMD's dropping.
Still no trade for me. I'm waiting for 935 at least. CRM is still pushing.
This is awesome. Maybe we are going to get to 240. I think that was what Jared said. Had mentioned that level as well.
Nvidia bounces here.
Okay, I just covered the short position on my CRM. I'm still long. I still have the long leg on it, the 240.
Still long Tesla here.
I'm still long a little bit of Tesla. I got out a lot at 180. Nvidia is now going. Looking at 181 right now. Did get there once. Unfortunately, I was I was getting out of my CRM position, so I missed that push on Tesla. Okay, now I'm getting out of some more at 181.
Right, 935.
Yeah, 935. Wow. Tesla could be going to 183.
Yep, Tesla is definitely strong this morning.
It's a big ask at 182.
I'm short AMD here.
Nice.
169.64.
Sold a little more Tesla, 181.74. Kind of running out of shares here, but there's a lot of bids to the upside here still. Well, thankfully I flipped my position on this.
On Tesla?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful move there. 182.
I'm glad I got out of, at least I got out of my put position on CRM. I'm wishing I had got out of my call position, but
Really sold off those CRM from high of the day here.
yeah, I know. Right as soon as it got to 240, that was it. Might even go red on the day. Okay, Tesla's still
Partialing some AMD here.
Hey guys, it's Brent. Can you hear me? I have somebody that has their mic open or their audio open. I'm getting bad reverb. If you can mute.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm on mute on my mic in the room here.
I hear you good.
Yeah, I don't hear any problem. Everything's okay in the room. Good. Andrew from the mountain. Yeah, maybe. Eh?
You guys can hear me too in the chat?
Yeah. Apparently, everybody says it's fine. So I'm not really sure.
Great.
Tesla's coming down to the VWAP here. See, down at Friday's high right now. So like I said, I don't have a lot of shares left. Dell's coming back up. AMD's coming back up. The Qs are strong. We're at high of day. SPY doesn't seem to be making any headway here one way or another. What else?
I'm still short AMD here. I expect more downside. Mara is really going, following Bitcoin. What CRM is doing. Yeah, CRM really sold off here.
Yeah,
Right at low of the day.
that's unfortunate.
Look
Anyway,
at Tesla. Tesla really bounced on the VWAP.
That was a big bounce. Geez, I really should have added on that bounce off the VWAP. That would have been a good add. Regardless, we're still going here, 182. Just getting a fill.
I covered the rest of my AMD there, right over the VWAP.
A nice catch on the reversal, Jared.
Tesla is back at
Few shares
182.
Few shares left on Tesla.
CRM is trying to find a bottom here. Back at 235. Have a lot of moving averages on the top side. Might reject here again.
Hmm. All right. Well, Tesla's 182 seems to be the high right now. Seems to be some sellers there. The Qs are continuing to push higher here. See if we can see something else here. Dell's looking weak.
Oh yeah, Dell is dropping here.
I'm just short some Dell at 137.80.
Nice.
That's at 136.80. Sorry. There we go. We're getting down into, oh, there we go. Nice. Just covering some here below.
Yeah, good move on Dell. It's a great
Mhm.
catch.
Still,
Right,
there's still a bid here at
45.
135.
Starting to look for potential open range breakout 15. Yeah, Dell looks really weak. Probably gonna go to 135 here. Yeah, there you go. Dropping more.
Yeah, just covering some here at 26, 135, 26. See if we can get to 135. There we go. So just cover some again here. Getting out of Tesla. Just I only had a few shares left, but it just doesn't look like it's kind of looks like it's topped. It's heading back down to the VWAP.
Yeah, it looks a
Still
bit
holding
toppy
its-
here.
And we can see if we can get to sort of 134 now on Dell. GME.
And Dell is really going. Good
Yeah.
move there. AMD and VDA are pretty choppy around the VWAP here.
Yeah, Dell was weak right at the open. Oh, here we go. We're going to get down to this. There's S3 is 133.64.
Yeah.
You can see on Bookmap, if you're looking at my screen, you can see how these orders, we kind of just rolled over here as soon as we lost this level. These orders were all sitting there waiting to be filled. And now we've got this order at 134. Got some building here, maybe at 133 as well. And there's just nothing up here that would indicate the market that's going to go back up. You can see here there was a bit of an order that built there. Someone hoping to sell right here, and then they pulled it.
Oh, Tesla bounced it here.
Yeah, look at that. Bounced off the VWAP again, eh?
Yeah, right at 2 days ago high there.
Yeah.
The level at 182.66.
Can just just it's funny. People think sellers are in control here, but it's actually the buyers are the ones that are in control here. They're setting the levels that they want to buy Dell at, and so they're the ones that are in control, even though the market is selling off. It's really the buyers that are just getting, that are dictating what the price of Dell is going to trade at. So you can see here we've got some buyers down here, 134. And then we've got some buyers building here at 135, 133.50.
Yeah, it looks like Dell is going to S3.
We did have a buyer come in here at 135.50. It's kind of interesting. At least we have some liquidity to the upside now.
AMD broke down here.
There's some more. Just covered more.
Nice.
What's Apple doing? Apple's interesting. I was looking at Apple on the weekend. Apple is breaking into another range here. I kind of thought that was something that Megan might have looked at. She loves looking for those stocks that are breaking out of their trading ranges.
I went short on Nvidia right at Air 4, 1138.
Whoa. Si, senor.
Look at Tesla, how it reject 2 days ago high. Pretty hard rejection there.
Wow. Yeah. Man, oh man.
Right, partial links on Nvidia here.
Yeah, AMD really rolled over too. All right, guys. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Not a bad day of trading.
Yeah, things are moving pretty good this morning.
Yes, they are.
Oh, Nvidia is trying to bounce here on the 200 moving average.
Woo! Wow.
Oh yeah, right back
Holy
at the
crap.
VWAP.
Yeah. Big bounce. Q's really rolled over there. Wow, that ripped higher. All right, well, few shares left of Dell, but I'm thinking it's we probably run the gamut here. It kind of looks like we still have some orders down here, but it may come down.
Right, I got stopped out on Nvidia here at my break even. Still able to catch a great move here. About a $8 move.
Yeah, nice.
I don't like the candle we're making on the 5-minute chart here. AMD still weak.
Wow, AMD still selling off. Here we go. Come on down. Dell. 133. 133 for the rest of my shares here.
Yep, AMD still going. That's the trade I took on AMD. If you guys can see my screen. The first 5 minutes closed weak under the VWAP. I waited for small pullback towards the VWAP and played the rejection. Catch a quick move, but got stopped out a couple minutes after right over the VWAP. I was about a 1-hour trade. That's the second one here on Nvidia.
Tesla's really bouncing around here. It's like a jumping jack. It's back to near high of day. This 182 level seems to be pretty sticky where we've got a seller.
Nice, Mike. Good trade on Dell.
Mike, you get Dell. Nice. Here we go. Come on. A little bit more. That's it. Here we go. Here we go. That's it.
AMD is back at Friday close.
Yeah, it's right at PDC.
Yeah, the market really rolled over there. Trying to find a bottom. Tesla is trying to hold.
Here we go. Here we go. We're going to lose 133 here on Dell. That's it.
Yeah.
Good deal. There we go. All right. Just covered. I just covered the rest at 132.90.
Nice. Good move.
All right. Good move. Yep. Like that as well. No complaints on that trade. All right, nothing, no trades for me right now. Just sitting flat now, no positions. Still working on Dell. Gary, what did you trade? AMD, nice breakdown, catching that one beauty.
Yeah, no trade for me either.
ARM's recovering.
The open range 5 on AMD. The open range 5 on AMD was really good setup. It's a shame I got stopped out at over the VWAP here because the move down would have paid off pretty good. But that's where it's important to stick to your rules, and if it comes back, you should get out, even if it rolled over.
Yeah. Oh, Apple's been pretty nice this morning.
Haven't looked at Apple. Let's see.
Apple had a nice little breakout. You know what? I kind of should have put that on my watch list. Apple was really, if you look at it on a daily, it was retesting
out
a
of the
high
range, yeah.
From previous week. So Apple has their developers conference. I believe it starts next week. So this is probably running into this developers conference. So just be careful about holding it into that conference. Usually it's Apple will run into events and then will pop go up and then it'll sell off. So after when the event happens. So it's sort of a buy the rumor, sell the news type stock.
The Qs are catching a bounce here.
Yeah.
Rejecting the VWAP.
Matt, what have you got here? Usually Matt likes to do some calendar stuff. 10 a.m. news. Yeah, we've got construction spending and ISM manufacturing here.
What do we have this week? I think we have jobless claim, on Wednesday or Thursday?
The big one. Yeah, the big one is the Wednesday is the ADP employment report. It's kind of an independent report, and then Friday is the data dump on employment, so wages,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So Friday will be kind of interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
GME has gone to it was shortable at the market in the pre-market. It doesn't appear to be shortable now.
Yeah.
Apple's kind of rolling over here.
Halted at the open.
Dell's still dropping. It's down to 132 now. Wow. Just never know
Yeah.
with Dell.
Yeah, Dell might go to previous day low at exactly at 131.
Apple's becoming pretty erratic too, throwing a lot of wiki candles.
Wow, AMD is really weak.
Yeah, AMD just went red on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dell's heading to Friday's low by the looks of it right now. There goes Apple's popping. So Apple's back at high of day.
Yeah, the 15 minutes RNB on Apple would have been great. So Apple broke out of the daily range, broke out of Air 4 2. Looking really strong.
Yeah. I'm looking for some other trades. I just don't want to chase anything, but Apple looks like it wants to get to that 194.50 level right now.
Yeah, high of the day. Yeah, I'm not in anything either. Not looking to take more trades. I'm good with the one I had on AMD and Nvidia.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm looking okay. I've got had one bad trade on Tesla, and then I flipped my position and got a decent long on it, more than made up for the loss. And then the Dell short worked out quite well. So
Yeah, you catch a great trade on Dell here.
mhm. What's my man Thor doing? He's nice trade on Google. This is his signature
R4
R4
rejection.
rejection. Yeah, look at that beauty, double top too. Nice little double top there. Couldn't get through that R4. Very nice.
Yeah, and he catch a great short too on the future.
Good.
R3 to S4. Wow,
4-hour target. Nice.
beautiful.
Okay, well, the Qs, the SPY is looking a little weak. What have we got going on with the Dow? The Dow's down. Everything's kind of flat right now. One of the Qs are the only thing that's really up quite a bit. Nvidia's not really moving one way or another. What's looking, what does Nvidia look like here?
It's trying to break out here.
It's trying to break out. It's got some bids to the upside.
But I wouldn't trade Nvidia at this point. Looks a bit choppy.
No, it's too choppy. You can see here. Dell looks like it's trying to hold Friday, I should say. Friday's low of day.
Yep, making a double bottom. Anybody catch AMD short?
GME has been, if you've gotten in right at the open where there were still shares for short, GME would have been a good short.
Nice. We have a lot of people that catch AMD short.
Nice.
A good move there.
Yeah, beauty.
Five-minute R&B on Mara would have been a great trade. Didn't saw it, unfortunately, but that was textbook. Broke out of Air 4, pulled back towards the VWAP with volume going down. That would have been a great trade.
Wow, AMD is still selling off here, eh?
Yeah, AMD was good short from R3 to S3. Apple looks a bit toppy here. Looks like it's forming a double top.
All right, if you're out on YouTube watching us, hopefully you're having a good day too as well. Just be aware that if the broadcast on YouTube is delayed, I think it's about 10 seconds. So
Yeah.
Jared's taking a long on GME. It's interesting.
Let's see, GME.
A little bit of a bounce here. Let's see what you've got. A lot of people short, so you could get a pretty decent squeeze here. It's right up to the 9 EMA right now, 28.50. $28.50. What level was that? Oh, that was kind of a low.
Dell broke down here.
Yeah, again, it's right at Friday's low now.
Yeah.
Now AMD is going to get into this 165.
Yeah, Dell is just slowly going down here. No signs of momentum.
No. Oh, it's, yeah. It did look like it was going to try to hold there, but made its way, that price action made its way over to the 9 EMA. It just couldn't get through it. So,
The Qs are catching a bit of a bounce here.
Yep.
Trying to go back to the view app. Simmer asking if any strategy works on meme stock. That's a good question. I usually don't trade meme stock. I like GME, AMC. I'm a bit scared of pitching those. What do you think about that, Brian?
I think that, I mean, if you can find some levels that, just like any stock, if you can find some levels that are key to the trade. Jared seemed to think 28.50 on GME was a level, and I looked at the charts. I don't really see where he came up with 28.50, but clearly it was a level that GME wanted to bounce from. So. And of course, the challenge right now with GME is as a trade, you can only take it long, unless you want to trade options.
Yeah.
And
so with options, you can still go both sides.
Yes, I'm not really sure what the options look like. Right now, the only thing now about trading options is if you're going to trade the options, the spread might be pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look at, so we're at 30 now, nice move back. If I look at, let's see if I do a 30 put, 450 by 47 or 550 by 575. So if you're going to hit the ask, you're going to be down 25 cents right off. So you just hope the stock's moving in your direction if you're shorting, if you want to short it with a put. Yeah, I mean, anywhere between 15 and 25 cents is the spread on these. There's even some at 45 cents. So that's the downside of trading options on a stock, maybe that's not quite as liquid.
Yeah,
AMD
for
is
sure, it's
bouncing.
more risky. Yeah, AMD catch a bounce on S3. Low 165 seems to be a good support. Same for Dell. Dell bounced exactly at that level at 131. So you're in any position, Brian, or on the sidelines like
No, I'm
me?
I'm looking right now. I'm thinking Nvidia looks a little weak to me.
Yeah, Nvidia feel like it's having trouble finding a direction here. Stuck in that range.
I'm looking at AMD too. AMD's kind of, I don't know. AMD's kind of making its way up here. There's some bids. There's some asks, I should say. A little bit above here, 167. That's where it could be going next. Markets come back a bit after that sell-off, but it just, again, we're not really making much progress one way or another. SPY did sell down to Friday's close and then came back up.
Yeah, both SPY and Qs are at the VWAP.
Yeah. AMD did a bit of a rejection at 9 on the 20 EMA, so that was a 920 trade, and it didn't catch that, unfortunately.
For your 920, you look at the 2-minute chart, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, Qs and SPY rejecting the VWAP. Apple is still strong.
Yes, it is. Back to 195.
195. Uh-huh.
There was a nice, again, kind of did a 920 And there's some of these 920s almost always. It's funny how the timing on these work. 10 minutes after 10, if you look at the Apple 2-minute chart, that's when it did the 920. And this, for some reason, this 1010 keeps coming up for the time of day when you see a 920.
Yeah, and the bounce on the 20 moving average was right at R4.
Yeah.
Broke R4, retest
yeah.
R4 right on the 20 moving average and moved
Yeah.
higher. CRM. CRM is pretty choppy.
Yeah.
It's ranging around 235, 6.
Did have that nice move to 240 and then really just rolled over. I've still got a couple of these options, 240 options expiring end of the week. Nice move on back on AMD. Q's trying to bounce a bit here. Tesla really ugly trader today. It's now that it's settled into a range, seems to have some support at 179.50 ish, and 182 seems to be some sellers there. So
yeah, Tesla have big resistance at 182.6, which is 2 days ago high. Reject exactly at that level again today.
Nvidia's got a lot of bids up, a lot of asks up at 1140, some of those 1140 levels. But this R4 level is an area it seems to be having a challenge getting through.
Mm-hmm. QQQ is testing the VWAP again.
Right on. Yeah. Just going long some Nvidia, just a small size. So just looks like it wants to break out here. It's looking for 1140.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to. There you go.
All right. Just sold, did it with options, so I just got in at 25. I'm out at 26.20.
And some volume is coming on Nvidia.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, AMD is okay. I'm out of that trade. That was just we're back at high of day. I still think we might have some challenges getting through there. So AMD looks kind of interesting, maybe for a short.
Yeah, AMD's rejecting the 90 MA on the 5-minute chart. Still looks weak.
It's got some bids here at 166. Here we go. Nice. Anybody take that AMD short? That was a nice little short there. You can see here we gravitated to this this area of liquidity.
Nvidia is still going.
Yeah, Nvidia is still going. Now those calls are worth $27. Dang. AMD traded AMD, nice short from that breakdown. Robin, way to go. All right. Well, it's 10:30 Eastern Time, and we're gonna sign off from YouTube.
Yes, that was a great trading day. We both were able to catch some pretty good moves there.
Yeah. So
Always
guys,
good
on
trading
YouTube,
with you, Brian.
Yeah. And guys on YouTube, hope you had a good day. It is 6:30 p.m. in Dubai. What time is it in Colombia?
It's 1 hour less, so it's 9:30.
All right. All right, wherever you are in the world, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. You can always like, subscribe if you haven't done so already on YouTube. And of course, you're always welcome to join the room and trade with us live instead of on delay. So have a good rest of the day, everybody. And we'll hopefully see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
man. Good
Have a
to
great
trade.
day, everyone.
Cheers.